Well, hello again, everybody. Atak is here with the Atak Sportz on this President's Day, Monday, February 16th, 2015. Alright, let's get going with my thoughts and results from two recent MMA events that happened over the weekend. UFC on Saturday, the Fight Night on Fox Sports 1, and Bellator's card on Friday on Spike TV. Now, for the first time in months, I'm able to say this. UFC was better than Bellator. Usually it's been like the opposite. Bellator's been more exciting than UFC lately. Because Bellator's been more consistent with the fights. With the fight cards. Like 4 really good fights. Not just one really good fight. Like the last couple UFC events on Fox Sports have been mostly the same thing. And the pay-per-view was like that too. The first 4 fights were terrible. The main event was the only good part. Unfortunately, that's how Bellator went this past Friday. The first 3 fights were terrible. Or unexciting. My usual phrase, that if you've seen my UFC reviews of the pay-per-views, you probably hear me say the same thing. Decent action, but not much excitement. Or in this Bellator case, not much action or excitement. You had the first 3 fights were like underwhelming. 2 were beatdowns. With Chris Honeycutt in the first fight, taking on Clayton McFarlane, it was an exciting beatdown. It was one-sided, though. One-sided like the second fight, too. But it was an exciting finish with Chris Honeycutt doing that big TKO. But it was a beatdown. Like the second fight, which was Julia Budd against Gabrielle Holloway, women's featherweight. It's like watching a Ronda Rousey fight. One-sided beatdown. For Julia Budd dominated all the rounds, which went all 3 rounds to unanimous decision, Julia Budd winning because it was a fucking beatdown. The second fight, the co-main, should I say, was what I like to call a fight not to lose fight. 2 guys who don't do crap. And I love both these guys, Daniel Whitechell and Pat Curran, but they don't deserve a title shot soon because the performances were weak. It was an okay fight, better than the first 2, but still not really good at all. With Daniel Whitechell winning just because it was like who hit the most, the least, basically. But main event made up for the entire lack of a great undercard, with Alexander Shlemenko taking on Melvin Manoff. It was an intriguing back and forth. It was an exciting fight I've been waiting for all night. It was an exciting, great fight, which ended with a great knockout, a big spinning back fist from Shlemenko. These 2 guys are great knockout artists. And Shlemenko got the knockout victory in the second round over Manoff. I think Manoff won most of the first round, then Shlemenko came flying back, especially with that big fist that ended the fight. And I saw that, I thought it was a back fist or back elbow, looked like. But it was a great knockout from Shlemenko. Ending an otherwise mixed Bellator night. Hopefully they can rebound for the next event on February 27th. It's got potential of being a great night with Emmanuel Newton and Liam McGeary, 2 great knockout artists, waiting to duke it out for the title on February 27th. But in UFC Saturday night, I thought it was the best Fox Sports card in a while. The last 2 Fox Sports cards were terrible. And the last pay-per-view, 182, was weak. Like I said, the first 3 fights or 4 fights on the pay-per-view were terrible. Main event was the only good part. But starting in UFC 183, the first 3 fights of UFC 183 were really good. The undercard, the main event, and co-main were just okay. But this past Saturday, you had like 2, maybe 3 really good fights in this entire card. It was a bloated card, but it was a fun card. Better than most recent Fox Sports card. You had Ray Borg taking on Chris Kalidas. Great back and forth actions, mostly kind of a beatdown, but it was more exciting beatdown with this Wayne Borg guy. This Wayne Borg guy is in the flyweight division, and he looked great. He's a monster of a flyweight guy. He could be a guy that could get a couple good wins and really challenge Demetrius Johnson. This guy was really good. He was on top of it. He was going for submissions a lot. He went for submission at the end of the first round, and in the second round. In the third round, he got the submission victory with the Kimura. Great submission victory for Ray Borg. Then you had Kevin Lee, the Motown Phenom. I like that he's from Motown. He took on Michelle Brazeres. And that was a great fight. A great exciting fight for the second fight. And it was a very close fight. This Michelle guy was bogged down by he gassed himself out as Kevin Lee kept going at him, kept going forward his flashy fire moves and got the victory unanimous decision. He won the last 2 rounds for me. So it was an exciting second fight. The third fight was sloppy, which was Dan Kelly against Patrick Walsh. And I'm surprised Dan Kelly won because Patrick Walsh looked more the aggressive despite him going overweight. But it was a sloppy fight. They were missing a lot. It was a sloppy fight. Then you had New Magny taking on Kishi Kanimoto. And this was a decent fight as well. Very, very decent action with Magny was more the aggressive in this fight. Kanimoto did nothing. Magny did most of the takedowns. A lot of takedowns in this fight. With Magny getting the rear naked choke victory in the 3rd round. Every fight went all 3 rounds in the undercard. If it didn't end in the 3rd round by a finish, it ended with a unanimous decision or a judge's call. Then you had the co-main, Max Holloway against Cole Miller. It was a kind of a slow, shaky start, but it got midway exciting throughout the second half of the fight. With Holloway getting the victory unanimously over Cole Miller, and both guys were just, there was some blood in there. Cole got bled up a little bit after an accidental headbutt or 2 from Holloway. And very decent co-main. And of course, the main. Benson Henderson against Brendan Thatch. In my mind, Benson Henderson needed a great performance in this. His last couple of performances have been terrible. His Cerrone fight was boring. It was a fight not to lose fight. 2 guys who just danced around for 3 rounds. But this fight, which was a 5-round main, these guys did not fuck around. Especially Thatch came out in a fury, almost knocking out Benson immediately. He just looked like a monster in there. But he gassed himself out. And Benson knew that strategy really well, that his strategy was to gas Thatch out. Was exactly what Benson did. Getting a surprise submission in the 4th round. With a rear naked choke. Redeeming himself for his last couple of sloppy performances. Making a comeback performance. But at least Benson got a great performance on his belt after his last couple of performances were not too impressive. To put himself back in the lightweight title contention. Or in this case, going to welterweight. Now, he's sick of being lightweight now. He's going to welterweight. So, there you go with that. Decent UFC, fun UFC, better than Bellator. I know UFC's got another card on Sunday of all days. Daytona Days. Bigfoot Silva takes on Frank Mir. He's always fat to me sometimes. So there you go. Now, before I get to my Raw preview, I didn't make a proper review for NXT Rival, which happened this past Wednesday on the WWE Network for $9.90. Well, for me, $9.99. For all the free new subscribers, free. NXT Rival. Another fun event. The later half was the better half. First 3 fights were just okay. The opening match between Tyler Breeze and Hideo Itami. Fun opener, great back and forth opener to begin things with Hideo getting the victory. Second fight, Baron Corbin against Bull Dempsey, no DQ match. So nothing because they didn't even use any fucking weapons. Why do you have a no DQ match when there's nothing that suffices it? That suffices the need for it. There's no weapon use. There was a tease of a chair use, but no weapons were used in that no DQ match. It was stupid and pointless, should I say. Third fight was sloppy, which was a tag team title match. A lot of botches in that fight, specifically on the part of Sin Cara and Kalisto. And that, unfortunately, made it a rough night also for their opponents. Buddy Murphy, the wrestling player, coming in the first live event as tag team champion. Didn't make a good first impression. The match was interesting, but it was ruined by the sloppiness and the crowd being dead because of the sloppiness. Then the last 3 matches were awesome. Finn Balor against AJ Neville in the finals for the number 1 contendership in NXT Championship. Great epic matchup. It was back and forth acting. The crowd was cheering for Finn Balor. I don't think Finn's ready, but I think Finn will be NXT champion eventually. He's got the look, he's got the charisma, and the war paint. When he's Demon Balor, he can get to it. In the first half of the match, Adrian grounded him at first. And he dunked all of Finn Balor's high offense. But once Finn Balor got the high offense going, the pace of the match quickened as he finally got those big fly moves, including this big warrior stomp finish on the head of Neville. That was a fun spot. That should be his finish instead of the typical warrior stomp. Then the women's title match. Fatal 4-way for that. Then we had Charlotte, Bayley, Sasha Banks, and Becky Lynch. All 4 women were awesome in this fight, and I knew that the NXT women's matches have been more exciting than any other women's matches in the entire wrestling universe right now. Unless you count Ring of Honor, which I don't watch. But everyone was anxious about how a Fatal 4-way would do. This is the first ever women's Fatal 4-way in NXT. It was a fun Fatal 4-way. All 4 girls had a chance at shot. Even Becky Lynch was like a dark horse in this. She looked pretty well. But it was Sasha Banks who finally succeeded Charlotte as she finally got the opportunity to become the Divas Champion tonight, this past Wednesday. They had a great one-on-one match at the recent Arrival, our Evolution event, the Takeover back in December. And the way that Sasha won the match was kind of interesting. That she had the submission on Charlotte, but then got an immediate roll-up after Charlotte went to tap out to the bank statement. We have a new Divas Champion, Sasha Banks. One of the best spots was when she's like a double knee stomp on the top rope on both Becky Lynch and Charlotte. That was a cool spot. And Bayley did well too. Like all 4 women shined. Then the main event, you had Sami Zayn defending the NXT Championship against Kevin Owens. Great exciting fight, even though it was almost like a beatdown with Neville's best friend and the former best friend of Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, getting his butt whipped for most of the matchup by Kevin Owens. And then Sami Zayn tried to fight his way back, even trying to Luva kick a couple times, but it was a couple power bombs that made the referees come in, stop the fight, and crowned Owens the new NXT champion. I was predicting there was going to be a screwy ending because I knew the feud. I did not think that match was going to end cleanly. I thought it was going to be a screwy ending to continue the feud like a DQ or count out. I didn't expect Kevin Owens to win the title in a referee stoppage. But no matter what the reason is, there will be a rematch. And Sami Zayn has a claim to it. Because he never got beaten. He never got pinned or submitted. The referee stopped the fight. He gave it to Owens. Referee stoppage. Because Neville, former friend or current friend, Sami Zayn was getting his ass gripped by multiple power bombs from Owens. So there you go. That's my take on NXT Rival. No Raw preview tonight. The last Raw before Fastlane. Lots of questions to answer tonight. Lots of questions that need to be answered tonight. I'll keep this short and brief. Top 6 questions must be answered tonight. Question number 6. What will go down tonight between B&B and Dean Ambrose? That feud's, I don't know if they'll have a title fight at the Fastlane, but I'm smelling WrestleMania. Seeds are building for the Bad News Bear to defend his IC Championship and probably Mania against Dean Ambrose, who pinned him in a non-title fight, challenged him last week, and B&B continually declines the offer. In a funny way on Monday night with the B&Z, Bad News Zone, kind of making fun of TMZ. So we'll see what happens with these two again tonight. I don't think they're going to be in the fast, and like I said, I smell Mania. Question number 5. Will Sting appear tonight before Fastlane? No. Sting will be at Fastlane to accept Triple H's challenge to call him out for a confrontation at Fastlane, or as I call it, the tease for the match of WrestleMania 31. So we'll see if Sting does show up tonight. We saw a little fake out last week with a fake Sting. I'm thinking it was Sandow I was hearing in a little video that said he will be at Fastlane. But will he be at Raw? Who knows? Question number 4. Will there be any more new developments in the oncoming breakup of the Rhodes brothers, Gold and Stardust? We've been seeing the seeds planted for the last couple weeks, especially on Raw, when Cody Rhodes / Stardust walked out on Goldust during a match against the Ascension. Because Cody Rhodes is being called Cody again instead of being Stardust, saying that Cody's dead. We've been hinting towards a breakup for the Rhodes brothers for a while, but it's finally going to happen. And it's going to lead to a Mania match between these two because Goldust is retiring. Great way for Goldust to go out, brother versus brother against Cody. Or Stardust, whatever the character he plays at Mania. Question number 3. What will go down between Cena and Rusev? I know Cena will probably retaliate tonight after the assault last week, especially on his bad eye from Rusev on the announce ramp, on the ramp, on the entrance ramp. So I know Cena will be retaliating tonight against Rusev, heading towards their match, a U.S. title fight on Sunday at Fastlane. Speaking of Fastlane, would there be any new matches be added for Fastlane? We know the main event of Fastlane, which I'll get to in a second. For a number one contendership at Mania, we know Nikki Bella will be taking on Paige for the Divas Championship. John Cena taking on Rusev for the U.S. Championship. We have no word on any other matches. I hope we get some new matches tonight, like maybe a tag team title match involving Cesaro and Tyson Kidd against the Usos. And maybe an NXT title match, but it may happen at Mania. So we'll see if any new matches get added tonight, especially in the pre-show match. That leads to question number 1. What will go down between Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns tonight? Now, these two will face off with another contendership to face Brock Lesnar and WrestleMania. Ever since the fans booed the hell out of Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble and wanting Bryan to win the Rumble and reclaim his championship, hearing Roman Reigns is turning heel. And the seeds were planted after inadvertent hit when Daniel Bryan inadvertently hit Roman Reigns with a flying knee last week on the opening match of Raw. And then the blind tag from Roman Reigns to end Raw. But then he got along doing SmackDown. But now with Fastlane fast approaching, I don't think they're going to get along. A title shot on the line. And Roman Reigns' reputation is on the line as well. Because if he loses to Daniel Bryan, it'll prove that WWE will listen to the fans once again. And put Daniel Bryan in the main event. I like Daniel Bryan and all, but, give Roman Reigns a chance. Yes, it's too soon in many people's eyes, including me. But at least try to give Roman Reigns a chance to try to earn and try to learn from his top spot instead of just taking him out of it because of the fans not wanting him to be there, not wanting him instead of Daniel Bryan being in it, I'm trying to explain it well. WWE shouldn't punish Roman Reigns by eliminating him from the main event spot despite the fans booing him. But we'll see what happens as we head towards Fastlane tonight on Raw at 8/7 Central on USA Network. That is it for Atak Sportz for today. Thank you very much for watching. That in mind, you have all been attacked by the sports news from Zach. Thank you so much. See you later. Yeah.